Hi. So today I wanted to talk about the anxiety that a lot of people in recovery feel before they're going to eat a meal, especially if it's a meal that's they're eating a food that might be considered the food that, is high calorie, feels scary for them, or, whatever it is. A lot of the time we feel anxious before eating a meal, and that in itself can lead to these sort of weird little rituals. Like I had these weird little rituals that would be like I had to go to the toilet, I had to wash my hands, I had to clean the kitchen, I had to make sure all emails were answered, and it just like everything. I had to have my book there and all these things. And I think that a lot of the reason that I would do all of that stuff was initially because that would feel a bit soothing to me, and then but then it turned into its own ritual thing and it wasn't soothing anymore, but I still had to jump through all of these hoops before a meal. So I had to sort of realise that I was jumping through all of these hoops that actually weren't helping me. In fact, they were probably heightening my anxiety at that point. And I had to stop myself jumping through all the hoops. And then I had to try and work out, well, how do I sort of manage my anxiety? Because anxiety is not fun, is it? Well, I'm going to say something so bloody boring now. You know how I did it? Long, slow, deep breathing. And the reason it really annoys me is because it's just the most annoying thing that everybody always says when you're getting all stressed. People are like, breathe, just breathe. And you're like, I don't want to fucking just breathe. And the reason it's annoying is because it actually does work. It works for really kind of like cool reasons, that the process of slowing your breath switches you from your sympathetic to your parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system is the freak out one. Parasympathetic nervous system is the rest one. And it's just in the same way that your heart rate rises when you go into your sympathetic nervous system. When you're starting to freak out, your breathing rate rises. And so a signal to the nervous system that there's nothing to be afraid of anymore is things like the heart rate coming down and the breathing rate coming down. However, most of us can't at will control our heart rate, so we can't be like, heart rate, slow down, stop it. That's not going to work, but you can at will control your breathing. And so just by doing that, by forcing yourself to take long, slow, deep breaths, you can shift yourself into your parasympathetic nervous system, and then you'll feel a lot less anxious, a lot more able to deal with the situation. Now, one of the interesting things is like, well, why this anxiety? Why this anxiety before the meal? Especially say if you've decided you're in recovery, you're eating without restriction, you are going for it. You're like, yeah, I'm going to gain weight doing it. So you've made all those decisions voluntarily, sitting down, eating a huge pizza, doing something that you know you're afraid of, and you've made the decision to do it. And why is that anxiety still there? Especially for those of us that don't even like being underweight. Why is that anxiety still there? Well, I can tell you. It's because once your brain has established that something is a threat to it, once your brain believes that it needs to be afraid of something, your brain is going to be afraid of that thing. And the only way to teach your brain not to be afraid of that thing is by showing it, right? And so, say I hadn't eaten pizza for a very long time. My acting in an avoidant way of pizza had taught my brain that, well, there must be something threatening about pizza because my human's not going near it. So pizza must be something to be afraid of over the years, And so then when I voluntarily decided I'm going to go and eat pizza, I can't expect my brain to just go like, oh, right, yes, pizza, that's not a threat anymore. Humans decided going to eat it, going to go do it. No, my brain has to be shown that pizza is not a threat. That means I have to eat pizza to show my brain pizza's not a threat. And I probably have to do it over and over again before my brain's going to be like, all right, well, pizza's not a threat, so I guess I don't have to make the human feel anxious before eating it. So I can't, just because I voluntarily have decided I'm going to go and eat pizza, I can't expect my brain to just not have any anxiety about that when I've been avoiding pizza for however many years. No, I've got to show my brain pizza's okay. In the same way, if I had a fear of snakes and I voluntarily decided I'm going to go and touch a snake, I'm not going to expect my brain to be like, yeah, fine, yeah, touch the snake, I'm not bothered. My brain's going to be like, don't fucking touch the snake. So we got to have a little bit of, give the brain a bit of a break. It's trying, okay? You can't, just because you've changed your mind, it's got to give it a bit of time to catch up. And you've got to show it first that things aren't scary. And it's not going to like that. It's going to be like, no, you're wrong, human. You taught me that pizza's scary, and I'm not going to believe it. I'm not believing it. Nope, nope, nope. Brain's not going to like it. You just keep eating the pizza, the brain's going to be like, wow, nothing bad happened yet. And you keep eating the pizza and your brain's going to be like, yeah, well, tastes quite good actually. And you keep eating the pizza and your brain's going to be like, all right, well, I guess I'm not scared of pizza anymore. So that's how this works, and that is why many of us do have anxiety and fear before we eat, especially if we're embarking on eating a food that we haven't eaten in a while, and we've taught our brains by avoidance that food is something to be avoided. That's why it's anxiety going into it, and that's why you should have a bit of a plan as to this is how I'm going to control my anxiety. And boring as it is, long, slow, deep breathing is probably your best bet. All right, hope that helps. Bye.